inside the Niger Delta.
After an amiable resolution of the dispute on the operatorship of oil mining lease OML 25 between Shell Petroleum Development Company SPDC and Belema, Ofunyama and Ngeje communities, as well as Belema Oil Producing Limited, key players in the oil and gas industry and leaders of the Niger Delta region had on Saturday, September 28, 2019, visited the oil-rich Kula Kingdom host communities to the oil joint venture partnership. The visit, undertaken by a delegation of high-profile state officials, the joint partners and traditional rulers, was to facilitate resumption of oil production on OML 25. Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Temepere Silva, and Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Mele Kyari, both addressed aggrieved women from host communities who occupied the Belema flow station and gas plant since August 2017.
It is time for our communities to begin to sit back and strategize on how we can harness the benefits that are coming from this agitation. This is the first time in my adult life to see this level of people visit a community like this. I'm telling you, I'm from an oil producing community like you too. The GMD of NNPC himself, my humble self as the Honorable Minister of State Petroleum, the MD of Shell, chiefs of the security of the Army, Navy represented. This is the first time this is happening. And if we don't take time, we will still be fighting after this happens and we will not benefit from this.
I'm happy that when we start with Belema Oil, my younger brother Jack and Shell, we say, look, we have to end this so that the community can have peace. We are not looking for money, we are not looking for oil. We are looking for peace for this community. And you cannot have peace under this condition. Therefore we say, let us close this. We'll involve Belema Oil in the activities in this OML 25.
Now we. I come up the flow station. The way Shell treat us, we say don't do. So nothing where they do for us. That make we say make them go. We don't want to see them again. But as now government don't talk. Our papa Buhari don't come say make we join now. We don't join, we don't live. But if we don't get school, our children no employment, no hospital, no scholarship, no water. So all this one where we dey tell her now, we be the women and they suffer and they not gonna help us do this thing for us.
After a formal reception by host communities of OML 25, Minister of State for Petroleum, Chief Temepere Silva, in company of Group Managing Director of NNPC, Mele Kyari, who were both conferred with chieftaincy titles, proceeded to commission the NNPC Belema Oil Joint Venture Potable Water Project.
Commission this water project for the well-being and enjoyment of the Kula community to the glory of Amen. Amen.
They also performed a groundbreaking ceremony for the President Muhammadu Buhari 85-kilometer Kula Degema Port Harcourt Expressway.
Groundbreaking for the road construction of 85-kilometer President Muhammadu Buhari Kula Degema Port Harcourt Expressway by His Excellency myself, Honorable Minister of State Petroleum Resources, 28 September 2019. In his
his remark, chairman of the occasion, King Alfred Jete Spieth, Amayanabo of Tuambras and former military governor of Old River State, lauded the federal government on the resolution of the dispute over the operatorship of OML 25.
Oh, we're all very happy. The nation needs the oil at this time, and it's good that decisions are taken, positive decisions, and the government has shown that it's got a listening ear and has taken this bold step, and we're all here to celebrate it.
Following the resolution of the dispute on OML 25, Shell Petroleum Development Company SPDC is now recognized as unit operator of the mining lease, while Belema Oil Producing is to oversee the operational contract and provide security surveillance on the oil mining lease. Describing the eventual resolution of the protracted dispute as mutually beneficial to all parties, founder of Belema Oil, engineer Jack Ten Jr., said the situation will also lead to the provision of more job opportunities for people of the area and indeed young Nigerians.
You can say for sure that the community is happy. If you can see that the whole youth are very happy because they're going to have jobs. Then I want to also say to our brothers and sisters, our women, our fathers, youths and all that, to give peace a chance to honor these August visitors that we received in this land that has never happened in any Niger Delta community before. And I also told them to pray for the president's health because this is an important project. The president is very happy about the community. The president has really helped us. He has encouraged me to help the communities. And we're also doing a lot for other Niger Delta communities. And we believe that this business that God has given to us is business that is set to design what I call the pace setting to helping others who are pretty much in need. And we believe strongly that the young ones are listening to me and they're hearing me. And I pray that we all work together as one entity to make our lives better.
For the host communities of OML 25 in Kula Kingdom, the recent peace deal struck by the federal government is a huge relief from socio-economic alienation and underdevelopment.
Myself and my people are very much happy, very much elated for the reopening of OML 25. We have suffered under SPDC for over 40 years, and because of that, for 2 years plus, that OML 25 was closed down. But the GMD, the Minister of State for Petroleum, have brokered peace between Shell and the community. And today, the OML 25 has been reopened. And the most interesting aspect of it is that it's not just reopened, but our son, Engineer Jack Ten Jr., is the operator of the OML 25. They have their license quite all right, but we're in charge of maintenance, employment, and everything. And we see to the developmental efforts that will be made for the community. So that is what we have been struggling for. And today, by the special grace of God, that struggle has succeeded. So we are thankful to God Almighty, and we are thankful to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Mohammed Buhari, GCFR. We are thankful to the Minister of State and to the GMD NNPC and to his teams in NNPC, NAPIMS and DPR. We are very grateful, and we appreciate the women of this kingdom who sacrifice personal comfort, risk health hazards, and occupy that place for over 2 years. So we thank them very much. History will not forget them.
I think it's a watershed in our struggle that one community stood up against almighty Shell and prevailed in this very short period. Over 3,000 youths are engaged. All these youths you see, they are engaged from different communities. They said an idle mind is a devil workshop. So if there are no idle minds, why would the devil set up his workshop? He will look elsewhere to go and set up his workshop. A lot of things are happening that have never happened, that we've never imagined in this short period of time. So we believe that Belema under Engineer 10 Jackeries had the capacity to manage OML 25. This is just, we were looking for a bigger trophy. We got something less, but we're happy with it. Well, we know that at the end of the day, we'll surely have the prize we have been eyeing at.
Earlier, the Minister of State for Petroleum, Chief Temepere Silva, Group Managing Director of NNPC Melekiari, in company of the MD of Shell, Osage Ogumbo, had visited the River State Governor, Nyesom Wike. The Honorable Minister of State had appealed to the Governor for more cooperation between all stakeholders to ensure a peaceful and conducive atmosphere for the smooth operation of oil exploration and exploitation companies.
This has been a problem, a long-standing problem in the Kola community. It's been resolved. Let us now agree to take this as a model and begin to replicate it in other communities where there are problems. Let us try, Your Excellency, to close ranks as a people. I'm now not speaking as part of the delegation, but as somebody from the Niger Delta. Let us close ranks and ensure that this problem is put to rest finally.
In his response, Governor Wike expressed satisfaction that the dispute had been resolved, but warned Shell to abide by the terms of the resolution to ensure that the communities will continue to be cooperative.
If people have not settled, so there's nothing like we have no role. We have no role. In the high-power politics, people are playing the oil industry. So why should that not be shifted to us? So we have no role. Ours is, we will always advise communities, cooperate with people who are carrying out business in their various areas. The oil communities too should be able to respect the memorandum of understanding they have with communities. That will bring peace amongst them. The problem is, I share goes in there now. Whatever they have agreed with the communities, let them implement it. And that is all. If they implement, they will do their work. But if they don't implement, there will be another crisis amongst them. And then they will call government to come in. Ours is to make sure that people carry out their business in a very conducive environment.
The Saturday, July 28th stakeholders visit to OML 25 communities and facilities turned out to be a carnival in Kola Kingdom. Several entertainers performed at the reception for guests.
That's your time, one guy, he go APC, collect for here, go PDP, collect rice for this side, collect groundnut oil for this side, go use APC, rice, carry PDP groundnut oil, they cook APC rice. Rice not done, see now, they still they cook.
Well, it goes without saying that the long-suffering host communities of Kola Kingdom are the main beneficiaries of the recent peace deal, which provides them a window of participation in the restructured oil venture on OML 25. They must be commended for embarking on the peaceful protests and remaining resilient in the face of adversities. Indeed, their approach to the struggle for an existence in Kola Kingdom is not only commendable, but also worthy of emulation by other oil-producing communities in the Niger Delta region.
Inside the Niger Delta,